This is Titha, owner of Birmingham REI, creator of How to Start Investing for the Price of a Wig. Today, I want to talk to you guys about 3 reasons why you should buy tax properties, okay? And if you wonder what I mean by that, I mean by purchasing the tax deed or tax lien, all right? If you want to know more information about that, you can check out all the videos on my channel, but you can also check out videos by Bigger Pockets, as well as videos by Chris Crun, because they also talk about the same thing here on YouTube. So let's get into it. 3 reasons to buy tax properties. So the first one is you can buy real estate for pennies on the dollar. Okay, so what I mean by that is when you purchase a tax deed and when you sit on it. Okay, so what that means by when I say sit on it, I mean you're going to wait out the time period that's needed in order for you to file a quad the title claim on that property. All right, and that means that when you file that quad the title claim on that property, it gives you clear title to the property. Okay, so if you follow this process, and I would suggest that you contact a real estate attorney that knows about tax deeds, tax lien in the state of Alabama, okay? Because every state is different. But if you follow that process, then you can literally acquire houses, land, commercial property for pennies on the dollar. What that means is that for a small fraction of what it will cost for you to buy it on the open market from when it's listed on the MLS, okay? When it's just up for sale, right? Then compared to that, the price you will pay then and what you can get it for when you're just buying the tax deed from the state, it's a fraction of the cost. Okay, so that's the first one. You can buy real estate for pennies on the dollar. Right. The second reason is that you could create a passive source of income by becoming a landlord. All right, I hear this all the time. People tell me, this is why they want to do it. They're trying to create another source of income. Maybe they're retired. I had a coaching client a couple weeks ago. She's retired. She's trying to create more income, right? Because depending upon your savings, your pension, money that you put back, it may not be enough, or it just may not be. It may not be enough to cover your needs, or it may not be enough to suit your lifestyle that you was living before you retired, right? This is a great option. I know people that's doing this, as a landlord. This is why they got into it. They started buying these tax properties because they wanted to become a landlord, didn't want to take out a second mortgage on the house, didn't want to clear out their savings, didn't want to clear out their 401k to do it. This is a great way to do it, right? Like if you guys see story after story on here on YouTube where people have just saved up, extra from their paychecks to get started. And that's different than taking out all the equity out of your house to invest in a business. All right. Not knocking all of that, but there's a different, there are options to getting started in real estate. You don't have to go and spend all your life savings to get started. Okay. And this is one of the options. So that was number 2. You can create a passive source of income by becoming a landlord. And also, let me just say here, when I say passive, I'm not saying it like you don't have to do any work. I think sometimes when people use that word passive source of income for and passive, when they use it when you're explaining being a landlord, I think that's really deceptive because there is a lot of work in being a landlord. I've actually met people and have people as clients in my real estate business that were just sick and tired of being a landlord. Okay, so there's another side to being a landlord. You have to really, it's not passive, guys. Is really not passive unless you have something set in place, a system set in place to make sure that your property is taken care of, like you have a company, a real estate management company, property management company that's going to make sure to take care of your tenants, take care of the house, and then go on. It's not passive. So I just said passive because that's how it's known, right? That's how people refer to it, so everybody would know what I'm talking about, but it's really not passive. Okay, so the third thing is you can create generational wealth by holding on and passing down real estate to future generations. Guys, this is so near and dear to my heart, okay? Because I strongly believe that each generation should not have to start over. All right. Like, I know people are so in love with their struggle stories, so in love with bonding over trauma. You know, this is how I came up and they should have to work for theirs. Rah, rah, rah. That's what I say to that. Because yes, you do want your future generations to work, to understand the value of working, to understand the value of however you get it, you know, whether it's a trade, whether you're an influencer somehow, whether you are, however you're getting your money. Yes, you want your future generations to know the value of earning money, right? But I also don't want my future generations to know every struggle that I've had. No, right? Like, I want to be able to put them in a position that was even greater than the position that my dad, my granddad, all these people came before me, put me in, right? Because I know the value of the sacrifices that my parents made for me. Like, I can't even imagine uh, being a steel worker, because that's what my mama was. I can't imagine working day and night. I can remember seeing my dad going on his job and he wasn't done, and he had been there since the wee hours of the morning. Here we are there at night trying to pick him up and he wasn't done. Like, I get that, right? So they made that sacrifice for me. I feel like I need to do some sacrificing for my kids so they will be in a better position than I am today, because I'm in a better position than my parents were. I feel like I need to do that for my kids as well. So tax properties is a great way to do that, right? If you grew up and you're wondering where you're gonna stay, how you're gonna stay, like, you guys know I talk about it all the time. I'm a single parent, right? I don't want my kids to have to worry about that. I just don't. I don't want them have to wonder where they can go and know that nobody can come there and kick them off. No, I do not want them to have that concern. I want them to be confident in the fact that they always have somewhere to go that's called home. And you could do that through buying tax properties. You could do it, guys. I'm telling you, I've met too many people. That's exactly what they're doing. They've done it. This is how their kids are living. And it's so much you could do with it once you do that, right? So even like if you're doing number two, I said, you know, create a passive source of income. Okay, use number two to do number three. You could do it. Guys, you're not limited here, okay? That's one of the awesome things about getting in this business, about meeting the people that do this business. It's awesome to put yourself in the community because you're surrounded by people who are so creative with these tax properties, right? I know people that they only purchase properties that they get from the auction that's empty. And even if that person, because I just believe, like, I don't want to get something that somebody can come back to, right, within a few days or something like that. But it's people that do that, right? And they use it as, they give people a month-to-month lease. So, okay, if they got to vacate, okay, give your tenant 30 days notice. Like, it's so many different ways you could do it, guys, right? If you do land, so many different things you could do with land. Like, I'm gonna make a separate video for that because I'm learning so many different things you could do with land. Like, people are doing tiny house villages, just, I could just go on and on and on. All right, so that's going to be a separate video, but I did want to make this video because I wanted to give you guys some things to think about. All right. Okay, so I hope you found it useful. If you guys are in need of coaching, I will put that link in the description of this video, and I hope you all have a great week. Thanks for watching.